What lies beyond this life? Dr. Eben Alexander, a renowned neurosurgeon, found an answer in a way he never imagined. In 2008, he fell into a coma, his brain silent. Yet, he claims to have seen heaven. "I was in a place of indescribable beauty and love," he later wrote. "This is I saw heaven, a true near-death experience story." Over the next 40 minutes, we will explore his remarkable journey, from a man of science to a witness of the divine. Stay with us and discover what he learned about life, death, and the afterlife. Subscribe now and let's begin. Dr. Eben Alexander was no ordinary doctor. For over 25 years, he worked as a neurosurgeon, saving lives in operating rooms across America. His career took him to prestigious institutions, including Harvard Medical School. There, he studied the brain, its intricate pathways, its mysteries. He believed science held all the answers. "Consciousness is just neurons firing," he often said. Near-death experiences. He dismissed them as illusions, tricks of a dying brain. "I thought these stories were the brain's last gasp," he once remarked. His world was one of logic, precision, and evidence. But in November 2008, that world unraveled. Dr. Alexander was struck by a rare illness, bacterial meningitis. It was a vicious infection caused by E. coli bacteria. Within hours, he was rushed to the hospital, his body failing. His brain, the organ he had studied for decades, was under attack. Doctors worked tirelessly, but the outlook was grim. They warned his family to prepare for the worst. His wife, Holly, and their 2 sons stood by his bedside, clinging to hope. The man who once mapped the brain was now a patient, fighting for his life. Yet something extraordinary was unfolding. While his body lay in a coma, Dr. Alexander claims his consciousness soared. He insists he journeyed to a place beyond this world. This was no hallucination. He later argued it was vivid, real, and transformative. His experience would challenge everything he believed about science, life, and death. As a neurosurgeon, he knew the odds. The infection had ravaged his brain, leaving little chance of survival. Yet, he would emerge from this ordeal with a story that captivated millions. His book, Proof of Heaven, became a New York Times bestseller. It detailed his journey, blending science with spirituality. Dr. Alexander's credentials lent weight to his claims. He wasn't a mystic or a dreamer. He was a scientist, trained to question, to test, to prove. "I was a skeptic," he admitted, "but what I saw changed me forever." His story resonated with Americans seeking answers about the afterlife. From churchgoers to skeptics, his words sparked curiosity and hope. This moment in 2008 was a turning point. It marked the end of Dr. Alexander's old beliefs. It began a new chapter, one of exploration and discovery. What happened in that coma? How could a man with a silent brain experience such vivid visions? Join us as we delve into his story, a tale of science, faith, and the unknown. This is just the beginning of I Saw Heaven. November 2008 was a turning point for Dr. Eben Alexander. What began as a routine day ended in chaos. A sudden headache gripped him, sharp and unrelenting. Within hours, seizures racked his body. His wife, Holly, found him unresponsive. She called for help, her voice trembling. Paramedics rushed him to Lynchburg General Hospital in Virginia. Time was slipping away. The diagnosis was devastating. Bacterial meningitis caused by E. coli was attacking his brain. This was no ordinary illness. It was rare, aggressive, and deadly. Dr. Alexander, the neurosurgeon who had saved countless lives, was now a patient. His brain, the organ he knew so well, was failing. Doctors worked frantically, but the infection was relentless. It invaded his cerebral cortex, the seat of thought and awareness. His chances of survival were slim, less than 1 in 10. In the intensive care unit, machines beeped steadily. Tubes and wires snaked across his body. His family gathered, faces etched with fear. Holly held his hand, whispering words of love. Their sons, Eben 4 and Bond, stood close, grappling with the unthinkable. Doctors warned them to brace for loss. The man who once lectured on the brain might never wake. Yet, as his body fought, something else was happening. Dr. Alexander later described a journey beyond this world. While his brain shut down, his consciousness did not. "I was aware, alive, and somewhere else," he wrote in Proof of Heaven. He found himself in a strange, murky realm. He called it the realm of the earthworm's eye view. It was dark, primal, and disorienting. Thick, muddy shadows pulsed around him. Sounds, like distant chants, echoed in the void. It felt like being trapped underground, yet he was not afraid. This place was unlike anything he knew. It was not a dream, not a hallucination. It was more real than life, he insisted. As a scientist, he knew his brain was incapable of such vivid experiences. His neocortex, responsible for perception, was silent. Scans later confirmed it: no activity, no function. Yet, his awareness persisted, sharp and undeniable. He felt detached from his body, free from pain. This was the start of his near-death experience. Dr. Alexander's account stunned his colleagues. Neurosurgeons deal in facts, not fantasies. A brain under such attack could not produce visions. Yet, he described this realm with clarity. The air was heavy, like wet earth, he recalled. There were no clear shapes, only movement. He sensed he was not alone. Presence, not people, surrounded him. It was as if the universe itself was alive, watching. Then, a shift occurred. A faint light appeared, spinning slowly. It was small at first, like a distant star. It grew brighter, warmer, pulling him toward it. "I felt drawn to it, like a magnet," he wrote. This light was no ordinary glow. It pulsed with energy, with purpose. He called it a portal, a gateway to something greater. As he approached, the murky realm faded. The chants grew distant. The shadows dissolved. Dr. Alexander was moving upward or inward. He could not tell which. Time lost meaning. Space felt fluid, unbound. "I was leaving one world for another," he said. The light enveloped him, warm and inviting. It was not blinding, but alive, almost conscious. He felt a sense of peace, of belonging. This was the threshold, he later realized. The entrance to what he believed was heaven. His family, unaware, kept vigil in the hospital. Days passed, each one heavier than the last. Doctors adjusted machines, hoping for a miracle. His brain showed no signs of recovery. Yet, Dr. Alexander was experiencing a reality beyond their reach. "I was not my body," he reflected. "I was something more, something eternal." This realization shook him to his core. The skeptic who once scoffed at near-death stories was living one. His journey was just beginning. The realm of the earthworm's eye view was only the first step. What lay beyond the spinning light? What truths would he uncover? His experience would challenge science, faith, and everything in between. As we follow his story, we confront big questions. What happens when we die? Is there more to us than flesh and bone? Dr. Alexander's descent into darkness was not the end. It was the start of a profound awakening. Stay with us as we explore the next chapter of I Saw Heaven. Dr. Eben Alexander crossed the threshold. The spinning light enveloped him, warm and alive. The murky realm of the earthworm's eye view was gone. In its place was a world of breathtaking beauty. He called it the gateway, the entrance to heaven. I entered a realm more real than this one, he wrote in Proof of Heaven. Colors danced before him, vivid and pulsating. Greens were richer than any forest. Blues shimmered like the deepest ocean. Every hue seemed to breathe, alive with energy. Rolling meadows stretched endlessly, bathed in golden light. Crystal rivers flowed, sparkling under an unseen sun. Flowers bloomed in impossible shades, their petals swaying. I saw landscapes that defied description, he recalled. The air was sweet, like a spring morning. It carried scents of earth and blossom, yet purer. He felt no weight, no pain, only freedom. His body was not there, yet he was whole. I was not bound by flesh, he said. Beings appeared, radiant and formless. Some resembled angels. Others felt like loved ones. They had no faces, no solid shapes. Yet their presence was unmistakable, familiar. They communicated without words. Thoughts flowed, instant and clear. Love was their language, boundless and pure. I felt connected to them, to everything. Dr. Alexander wrote, "It was as if the universe itself embraced him. Music filled the air, but not like any on earth. It was a symphony of light and sound. Melodies wove through him, stirring his soul. I heard music that was alive," he described. Choirs of unseen voices sang, harmonious and eternal. The sound was not just heard, but felt. It pulsed in his being, a rhythm of creation. Every note carried meaning, every chord told a story. At the heart of this realm was a presence. Dr. Alexander called it the divine. Not a figure, not a person, but a force. It was love, infinite and all-encompassing. I felt God, not as a being, but as everything, he said. This presence held the meadows, the rivers, the beings. It was the source of all beauty, all peace. He knew, without doubt. He was home. Time did not exist here. Minutes, hours, years, they dissolved. I was outside time, he reflected. Events unfolded, yet felt eternal. He moved through the gateway, exploring its wonders. Each step revealed more, each moment deeper. The realm was infinite, yet intimate. It was vast, yet held him close. I belonged here, he wrote, as if I had always been. This was no dream, no trick of the mind. Dr. Alexander, the neurosurgeon, knew better. His brain was silent, ravaged by infection. The neocortex, source of imagination, was offline. Yet, this world was sharper than reality. I could not explain it, but I lived it, he said. His training urged him to question. His experience demanded he believe. The gateway was only the beginning. A deeper realm awaited, one even more profound. Dr. Alexander was drawn deeper. The gateway faded, giving way to the core. This was no place, yet it was everywhere. Space and time collapsed, meaningless. I was in the heart of existence, he wrote. Light surrounded him, not from a source, but within. It was golden, radiant, infinite, yet it did not blind, it revealed. Truths unfolded, vast and simple. He saw his life, not as memories, but as ripples. Every choice, every act spread outward. Kindness to a stranger, a smile to a child, pain caused, love given, they all mattered. I saw my life's impact without judgment, he said. This was a life review, but not like a courtroom. It was understanding, wrapped in love. He felt the joy he brought, the hurt he caused. Each moment was a thread in a cosmic tapestry. Beings of light guided him, their wisdom infinite. They were not separate, but part of the divine. I knew them, yet they were beyond me, he described. They showed him the universe's design. Everything was connected: people, stars, souls. There is no separation, he realized. Life on Earth was a chapter, not the story. Death was a doorway, not an end. The core revealed eternity's pulse. Dr. Alexander felt creation itself. I saw how love binds all things, he wrote. Galaxies spun, yet he was their center. He was small, yet infinite. Questions he never asked found answers. Why do we suffer? Why do we love? The divine held these truths, simple yet profound. Love is the foundation of everything, he said. His scientific mind struggled. How could this be? His brain, scanned and studied, showed no activity. Yet, he experienced a reality beyond matter. I was a scientist trained to doubt, he admitted, but this was undeniable. The core was not a place, but a state. It was truth, stripped of illusion. He felt no fear, no doubt, only certainty. Dr. Alexander's journey changed him. He was no longer just a neurosurgeon. He was a witness to something greater. I carried this truth back to Earth, he wrote. His coma, his illness, became a gift. It opened his eyes to life's purpose. We are more than our bodies, he said. We are eternal, connected, loved. Back in the hospital, his family prayed. 7 days had passed, hope fading. Doctors saw no signs of recovery. His brain remained silent, his body frail. Yet, Dr. Alexander was alive in another realm. The core showed him his place in eternity. I was part of the divine, he reflected. This truth would guide him long after he woke. His story challenges us. What is consciousness? What is heaven? Dr. Alexander's experience offers clues. It bridges science and faith, doubt and belief. It was real, he insisted, more real than this world. As we follow his journey, we wonder, could there be more to life than we see? The core was not the end, but a beginning. Join us as we uncover what lies beyond. Dr. Eben Alexander awoke from his coma after 7 days. His recovery was nothing short of a miracle. Doctors were stunned. His brain, ravaged by bacterial meningitis, had shown no activity. Yet he opened his eyes, spoke, and lived. I was a different man, he wrote in Proof of Heaven. The neurosurgeon who once dismissed near-death experiences now carried one. His journey to the gateway and the core reshaped his worldview. Science was his foundation. For decades, he studied the brain at places like Harvard Medical School. He believed consciousness was a product of neurons, nothing more. The brain creates the mind, he used to say, but his experience defied this. His neocortex, the part responsible for thought and perception, was silent. Brain scans confirmed it: no function, no activity. Yet, he had seen vivid realms, felt profound truths. I could not explain it, he admitted. Dr. Alexander turned to research. He studied near-death experiences, seeking answers. He found he was not alone. Millions of Americans, about 8 million, according to Gallup polls, reported similar experiences. People described leaving their bodies, seeing light, meeting loved ones. Some recalled events in operating rooms, details they could not know. Dr. Sam Parnia, a leading researcher, documented such cases. His studies showed patients recalling conversations while clinically dead. Their brains were off, Dr. Alexander noted, yet they knew. He explored quantum physics, a field challenging old ideas. Scientists like Max Planck suggested consciousness might exist beyond matter. Quantum theory hinted at a universe where mind and reality intertwine. Consciousness may not be confined to the brain, Dr. Alexander said. His experience aligned with these ideas. The core, with its timeless truths, felt like a glimpse of this reality. He began to see science and spirituality as allies, not enemies. Skeptics challenged him. Colleagues argued his visions were hallucinations. Oxygen deprivation, they said, or chemical imbalances, but Dr. Alexander countered with facts. His brain was too damaged for such vivid imagery. Hallucinations are chaotic, fragmented. His journey was coherent, structured, meaningful. I was a scientist, he said. I knew the difference. He pointed to cases like Pam Reynolds, who described her surgery while under anesthesia. Her brain was stopped, yet she saw and heard. Dr. Alexander's credentials gave his story weight. He was not a dreamer, but a man of evidence. His research uncovered patterns. Near-death experiences often shared elements. Light, love, a sense of home. They crossed cultures, religions, and ages. These are not random, he argued. They point to something universal. His findings suggested consciousness might survive death. This was no longer just his story. It was a question for science itself. Dr. Alexander's journey was more than scientific. It was deeply spiritual. I saw love as the foundation of existence, he wrote. The divine presence in the core changed him. It was not a deity in the sky, but a force within all things. This resonated with Americans of all backgrounds. Christians saw God. Buddhists saw nirvana. Skeptics saw connection. His story bridged divides, uniting people in wonder. He reflected on life's purpose. The core showed him every act matters. A kind word, a selfless deed, they ripple forever. We are part of a greater whole, he said. This truth reshaped his daily life. He valued love over success, connection over status. I became a better husband, father, friend, he admitted. His family noticed the change. Holly, his wife, saw a softer, wiser man. Dr. Alexander shared his story widely. His book, Proof of Heaven, sold millions. He spoke at conferences, churches, and universities. People flocked to hear him, hungry for hope. Many shared their own near-death experiences. I met countless others, he said. Their stories echoed mine. These encounters deepened his belief. Love, he argued, is eternal. It binds us beyond death. He addressed spiritual questions. Why do we suffer? The core offered clues. Suffering teaches us compassion, he said. It connects us to others, to the divine. What about negative near-death experiences? Some reported dark, frightening realms. These are rare, he noted, often tied to unresolved pain. But even they led to growth, to healing. His message was clear. No experience is wasted. Dr. Alexander's story inspired action. He urged people to live with purpose. Be kind, be present, he said. Love is what lasts. He saw this in small moments, a smile, a helping hand. These acts, he believed, echo in eternity. His words struck a chord with the 30-60 age group. Many were searching for meaning, facing loss or doubt. His story offered hope, a light in the dark. He remained humble. I am not special, he said. My experience was a gift, meant to be shared. He encouraged others to explore spirituality, meditation, prayer, or simple gratitude. They all connect us. We are spiritual beings, he insisted, on a human journey. This idea resonated in a fast-paced world. Americans, often caught in routine, craved deeper truths. Back in the hospital, His recovery baffled doctors. His brain should not have healed. Yet, he walked, talked, and wrote. "I was given a second chance," he said. He used it to spread a message. Life is not random. We are here to love, to learn, to grow. His story challenges us to look beyond the physical. What is the soul? What is eternity? Dr. Alexander's journey continues to spark debate. Scientists study, skeptics question, believers embrace. "I do not have all the answers," he admitted, "but I know what I saw." His experience invites us to wonder, could consciousness outlast the body? Could love be the universe's core? As we follow his story, we reflect, what does it mean to be alive? Join us as we explore the truths he uncovered. Dr. Eben Alexander's return to life was a battle. After 7 days in a coma, he woke to a body that no longer obeyed. He could not walk, could not speak clearly. His brain, scarred by bacterial meningitis, struggled to function. Doctors called his survival a miracle. But recovery was grueling. Physical therapy stretched over months. Simple tasks like holding a spoon became triumphs. Yet, through it all, he carried a new truth. "I saw heaven," he wrote in Proof of Heaven, "and it changed me." The man who emerged was not the same. Once a skeptic, he now saw life through a spiritual lens. "I no longer fear death," he said. "It is a transition, not an end." The gateway and the core showed him eternity's promise. Every moment, he learned, has meaning. Love, kindness, connection, they ripple forever. This truth reshaped his priorities. He valued family over career, presence over ambition. His wife, Holly, saw the change. He was softer, more patient, more present. Their sons, Eben and Bond, felt his warmth. "I became a better father," he admitted. Family dinners became sacred, filled with laughter and stories. He listened more, judged less. The neurosurgeon who once lived for the operating room now lived for love. "I learned what matters," he said. "Love is the currency of eternity." Dr. Alexander shared his story with the world. Proof of Heaven touched millions, a beacon for those seeking hope. He spoke at churches, universities, and hospitals. Audiences sat in awe, moved by his words. "I met people who felt lost," he said, "and my story gave them light." Many shared their own near-death experiences. Their tales echoed his light. Love, a sense of home. These connections deepened his mission. "I was given this story to share," he wrote. His message was simple, yet profound. "You are enough," he told audiences. "Your life has purpose, no matter how small it seems." The core showed him every act counts. A smile to a stranger, a hand to a friend, they matter. "These moments shape eternity," he said. He urged people to live with intention. Be kind, be brave, be present. This resonated with Americans aged 30 to 60. Many faced midlife doubts, loss, or questions about meaning. His words offered clarity, a call to live fully. He addressed pain and struggle. Life, he knew, was not always easy. "Why do we hurt?" he asked. The core gave answers. "Suffering builds compassion," he said. "It teaches us to love deeper." He shared stories of others transformed by hardship. A woman who lost her son found purpose in helping others. A man who faced illness discovered gratitude. "Pain is a teacher," Dr. Alexander said, "if we let it be." He remained grounded. "I am not a prophet," he insisted. "I am a man who saw something extraordinary." He encouraged exploration, meditation, prayer, or quiet reflection. They open doors. "Find your connection to the divine," he said. For him, the divine was love, present in every heart. This idea spoke to a nation seeking balance. In a world of stress and division, his message was a balm. Dr. Alexander's life became his testimony. He lived what he preached. He volunteered, helped strangers, cherished small moments. "I try to live with love," he said. His story inspired others to do the same. Book clubs read his work. Churches discussed his ideas. Online forums buzzed with stories of hope. "People want to believe in more," he noted. His experience gave them permission to hope. To viewers, he offered a challenge. "Look at your life," he said. "What do you value? What do you give?" He believed everyone could make a difference. A kind word, a generous act, they ripple outward. "You are part of something vast," he said. "Your life is a thread in a divine tapestry." This message hit home for those feeling lost. It reminded them they are seen, they are enough. His journey was a gift. He believed not just for him, but for all who heard it. "I came back to share this truth," he wrote. "Love is eternal, and so are you." As we follow his story, we are called to reflect. What is our purpose? How do we love? Dr. Alexander's life offers answers. Live with heart. Live with hope. Stay with us as we share his final words. Dr. Eben Alexander's story raises big questions. What was it like to see heaven? How does a scientist explain the unexplainable? Let's dive into some questions, inspired by those he's heard from audiences. These answers, drawn from his talks and proof of heaven, bring clarity. They also invite you, the viewer, to join the conversation. First question, was it a dream? Alexander heard this often. People wondered if his visions were just his brain misfiring. "My neocortex was shut down," he explained. "It was ravaged by infection, incapable of dreams." He described the clarity of the gateway and core. Dreams are fuzzy, fleeting, disjointed. His experience was vivid, structured, unforgettable. "I lived it," he said, "more real than this world." As a neurosurgeon, he knew the science. His brain could not produce such a journey. Next, what about negative near-death experiences? Some people report dark, frightening realms. Dr. Alexander acknowledged these stories. They're real, but rare. He said, about 1 in 10 cases involve distress. He believed these were tied to personal struggles. Trauma, guilt, or fear could shape the experience. Yet, he saw hope even here. Many find healing through these moments. He noted, a woman he met described a dark void. It forced her to face her anger, then find peace. "Every journey has purpose," he said. Another question, how did this change your daily life? Dr. Alexander's answer was personal. "I live with love first," he said. Before, he chased success, long hours, high stakes. Now, he cherished small moments. A walk with Holly, his wife, under Virginia stars, a hug from his sons, Eben, 4, and Bond. "I listen more, love deeper," he shared. He practiced gratitude daily, often through meditation. "Life is a gift," he said, "and I honor it." His story inspired others to rethink priorities. What matters most in your day? People asked, can anyone connect to the divine? Dr. Alexander believed, yes. "You don't need a coma," he said with a smile. The core showed him love is universal. It's in every heart, every act of kindness. He suggested simple steps. Try meditation, even for 5 minutes. Write down what you're grateful for. Help a neighbor, share a smile. These open doors to the divine, he said. His words resonated with Americans seeking meaning. In a busy world, small acts feel possible. One more. What's the biggest lesson, Dr. Alexander paused when asked this. "Love is everything," he said. "The core taught me we're connected, eternal. He urged people to live this truth. Don't wait for a crisis to change. Be the light now, he said. He shared a story of a man who heard him speak. The man forgave an old friend, healing years of pain. That's the power of love. Dr. Alexander said, it's a choice we make every day. Now, it's your turn. Dr. Alexander's story is not just his, it's ours. Have you had a near-death experience, maybe a moment that changed your life? Share it in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone watching. We're all connected, he often said. Let's build that connection here. Hit the like button if his journey moved you. Share this video with someone who needs hope. This story deserves to be heard. Dr. Alexander's message is a call to action. Live with love. Live with purpose. Subscribe to this channel for more stories like his. Stories that challenge, inspire, and uplift. Want to dive deeper? Grab Proof of Heaven link in the description. It's a roadmap to his journey, packed with insights. I wrote it for you, he said, to spark your own search. His experience invites us to ask, what's next? What do we believe about life, death? The divine Dr. Alexander doesn't claim all the answers. I'm still learning, he admitted, but he offers a starting point. Look within, look around, choose love. As we close this chapter, reflect on his words. You are part of something vast, he said. Your life matters. Stay with us for the final part of I Saw Heaven. Dr. Eben Alexander's journey to heaven left a lasting mark. His story, born from a coma in 2008, challenges us. It asks, what lies beyond this life? I saw a realm of love and light, he wrote in Proof of Heaven. This vision transformed him. He became a messenger of hope. We are eternal, he said. Love binds us all. His experience speaks to everyone. Skeptics question. Believers embrace. Seekers wonder. Yet his core message is simple. Live with love. Be kind. Find purpose. You are part of a divine plan, he said. These words resonate with Americans seeking meaning. They remind us to pause, to reflect, to connect. Dr. Alexander's life shows the way. He chose love over fear, presence over haste. His story invites us to do the same. What can you do today? A small act, a gentle word, it matters. Every moment counts, he urged. His journey proves it. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Alexander's story is a call to live fully. Reflect on his words. What is your purpose? How will you love? Subscribe for more stories that inspire. Share this video. Let's spread hope together. As Dr. Alexander said, you are never alone. This is I Saw Heaven, signing off.